Hi everyone, how are we doing today? This is Hillary, the marketing mom. It is 12:32. It takes me a little while to type everything up, so maybe I should start typing just before. But I'm glad you're able to join me here. I'm glad you're here because today is, as most people would say, hump day. It's Wednesday to me. All right, so today what I'm talking about, and it's an article that I came across recently, that from Jeff Bezos, well, not from Jeff Bezos, but talking about Jeff Bezos and his and I've got my notes here, his 3-step formula to success. And the thing is, just before coming on to this live, my husband said, how do you turn fear into fear? And I was like, fear into fear. He's like, fear, right? Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And as an entrepreneur, right? So for those of you who are building your business, either it's in network marketing or any other business, like your own brick and mortar business, your consulting business, a lot of the times we've got that choice. It's fight or flight, right? We think that's the choice that we have. You either face things or you run away from things. And 9 out of 10 times when you face things, you're going to rise to the top, okay? And that is something that during my entire entrepreneurial career thus far, and I say a career because recently I was listening to one of our mentors, one of our trainers inside of the Elite Marketing Pro community. He was talking about the different traits between employees and entrepreneurs. Not that one is better than the other, but the fact that if you are an entrepreneur, you have to treat it as a career. It is your career now. If you're an employee, you treat being an employee as a career. This is something that you go to on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes entrepreneurs fall, or people who think they're entrepreneurs, fall short in this because they're not actually thinking like employees. And employees, they know they have to be there at a certain time. They know they have to put in X number of hours. But they also have a certain comfort in that they know they don't have to create all these systems, rules, and regulations for them to be able to operate. Whereas an entrepreneur has to do that. And people who are entrepreneurs, who they think they have a business, they're doing this thing part-time, all right? And part-time is a fallacy, right? It's not about the time, it's about how much effort you put into it. You are actually fooling yourself into thinking you're an entrepreneur if you don't show up and face the music, okay? So back to Jeff Bezos' 3-step formula, all right? And the thing is, when I read it really briefly because this morning I've done little. I haven't done all my reading today, but when you look at his 3-step formula, it's really something. It's an impetus for you to take the fear of being in business and what we think of fear as forgetting everything and running and just throwing up your arms and saying, oh my goodness, I can't do this, to actually facing everything that you do, facing everything you do with some sort of confidence and actually rising above it. Okay, so I'm gonna just be looking at my notes here because I just jotted down his 3 things. All right, and the first thing, and this is something that every coach that you work with, every entrepreneur that you come across, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna see the same pattern. And it's not that it's going to happen overnight. It's a pattern. Okay? And the first thing is surround yourself with the right people. Who are the right people? Now, the reality is you've got friends, you've got family, whenever you're starting your business, okay? When you're starting your business, you already know a lot of people wherever you're starting your business. But the reality is you can't move forward with the same people that you've had around all the time, okay? Now, if you've been surrounded by entrepreneurs, business people, they have actually been trying to, by osmosis, show you that this is a good way for you, a good path for you. Now, and that's a fantastic thing if they've been doing that. But the reality is, and we say birds of a feather flock together, if you hang around people who lime on a Friday evening, lime means hang out for all my American followers, my Trinity followers would totally get that. If you hang around people who are always hanging out on a Friday evening, after work, drinking, spending all their money, and then going out on a Saturday night to party, and then Sunday they go out to lunch, they go out to dinner, and all of these things, and then Monday morning they complain, oh my goodness, I have no money, and they've got to work really hard until the next paycheck to pay basically for their vices. Okay, now we're not saying that they're bad, but what we're saying is that if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, you've got to make certain choices, and the only way you can make those right choices if you surround yourself with the right people. Okay, and one of the things that every mentor and every coach that I've ever had, they have always shared with me and with our, our community, our team, different things, but one of the things that they always say is, go and find somebody who has what you want. Go and find a coach, talk to that person, get inside of a group of people who are like-minded. Okay, and we're not talking about the brainwash type of like-minded. We're talking about the people who they have certain dreams and aspirations that are very similar to yours, and their means of getting those things are the same. They want a business for themselves, they want a business this way, online, whatever the case may be. Find that community and surround yourself with those people. Okay, surround yourself with that mindset, and eventually it's going to kind of like through osmosis get there. Okay, now remembering that mindset takes a while. All right, and that brings me to his second point, which is have a learn it all mindset. Now again, a lot of people, and I've seen this time and time again with some of my clients, with some people who've come to me, they would like to do work with me or whatever the case may be, but they don't have a learn it all mindset. They have a I know it all mindset. As we say in Trinidad and Tobago here, everybody has a PhD, okay? And there are little jokes inside of the academia community about what a PhD is. You've got BS, you've got more S, and then you've got piled higher and deeper. So I apply that a lot to the attitudes sometimes of people who come with the PhD mentality that they know it all. Okay, to be a really successful entrepreneur, you have to have a learn it all mindset. You're always in learning mode, because the reality is you never know it all. You may get really good in one area, have expertise in one area, but you still don't know it all, because there are other people who've been doing this longer than you, for with different types of clients possibly, and you've got to be open and willing to learn from these people. And what we find a lot of times is that people who come in to business, they think, well, I have a business degree, so I know everything about business. And the reality is, if we look at the most successful business people in the world, they barely have a high school diploma, okay? Far less for a business degree. So your business degree does add value, okay? Just like my MBA adds value. But I will never say that because I have an MBA, I know everything about business and that I don't need to learn from anybody else. And this is what happens, that a lot of people, they fail as an entrepreneur, they fail in business because they refuse to be open to learning. All right, they refuse to be open to learning. And then the third thing that he talks about is be ready to play the long game. This is Jeff Bezos we're talking about here, okay? If anybody knows, it's like it took him forever to come to success, but you've got to be ready to play the long game. Too many entrepreneurs jump in on day one and they think that they're going to be millionaires by day 30, and the reality is, if you even make a profit in your business in the first 5 years, you're good. All right, if you turn a profit in the first 5 years of your business, you're really good. Most people don't. And the reality is, you've got to keep working at your business, even if it's not making money, even if it's not making profit. And when I say not making money, I'm talking not even making sales. If you are really dedicated to your business, to this career that I call entrepreneurship, okay, you will need to have the grit to be able to move forward and move forward even though you're not seeing the results that you want. You've got to stick with it, because other than that, you know, and yes, not yesterday, day before, when I was talking with one of the hosts of the Wink program, the Wink Acceleration program for those ladies, you know, one of the things that she said is that you keep going at it, you keep going at it. And she said one of the worst things that she hates to hear when somebody has graduated from the program and, you know, they meet, they keep in touch or whatever, and they come and say, well, you know what, I had to go back to work. Whenever you get to that stage where you had to go back to work, it means that you threw in the towel. You just forgot everything. You let fear take over. You let the negative fear take over. You just put your hands up and said, I'm just going to forget everything and run. I'm just going to run. And you run back to comfort. You run back to whatever. As an entrepreneur, if you choose this as a career, you know for a fact that if you face everything, you will rise. You will rise above the challenges. You will rise above every little struggle. And believe you me, once you rise past one struggle, there's going to be another one waiting for you around the corner. Don't worry, they're always there. But that is the life of an entrepreneur. And you have to go through, you know, what I think Jeff Bezos laying down here is constantly surround yourself with the right people. Okay, always be learning, always be learning. All right, it's like you've got to always be open to consume new information. All right, and then the third thing is just know it's there for the long haul. You've got to go at it with all your might, yes. But you know what, sometimes as a sprinter, and some of you may know that I used to be a sprinter in my younger days, I recognize now the value of all of those long distance training that our coaches used to insist that sprinters run, because you may have the ability to run the 100-meter really fast, but you can't even keep up a pace for 500, for 5,000 kilometers. Okay, so it's like you've got to have both. You've got to be able to go when you need to go, push off when you need to push off, but you've got to have the stamina, because if you're going to be an entrepreneur for life, you've got to have the stamina to be able to face everything and rise. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.